Semakeling Matabula, known as SEMA. Now, dear SEMA is the Customer Resolution Center Analyst for the Ford Company. They are fortunate to have SEMA as the Customer Resolution Center Analyst. And the Department of Sport and Recreation, with the assistance of BAFSA, the Balloon Federation, assisted SEMA in her balloon training, and they made a grant to SEMA. To have an African lady as a hot air balloon pilot is something that is absolutely exceptional for our country.
So good evening. As mentioned, I am SEMA, but to the world, I am South Africa's first black female hot air balloon pilot, and the second on the continent. Kenya beat us damn. So in studying, I went into politics. Vast difference. When I couldn't get employed, I met a wonderful company that introduced me to the Bill Harris team. I started off as a marketing assistant, and eventually they told me, we're going to apply for you if you don't apply for the grant that the Department of Sport and Recreation was putting together to get more youth involved in sport. So I put my name up. The committee said yes, and a few challenges down the road later, here I am with my qualification. COVID didn't stop us, Ford didn't stop us, so I'm incredibly honored to be here. It's been amazing. Some of my achievements include qualifying, having to manage a 8 to 5, flying in the mornings and finding a balance, being a newlywed and trying to gain hours and remain current. Funny enough, this morning I was the only current pilot, so the student became the master. But it's been an honor.
Nigel Musgrave is one of the exceptional individuals in our community, our recreational community, with his attitude to flight safety, and he goes to so many air shows, aviation events, and all at his own expense, which is absolutely wonderful. And Dan said that one of the most outstanding features of today was the air traffic control. And we've got these guys, Rudolph and Robert, who come from Bloem and work for ATLS. They've just been so accommodating for everybody, and the day has run so smoothly. Rob Yonkers, who is the chairman of the Aero Club of South Africa, as most of you know, and he will deal with his matters.
Thank you, Carl, for playing a bit of MC for the evening. You all know this is the Aero Club Airweek, and the intention of the Aero Club Airweek is that the 13 odd sections of the Aero Club have the opportunity to take part in a conjunction of their discipline in a single event. And we had an excellent event last year, which was also a centenary event, and we got most of the sections of the Aero Club actually participating. And although last year was an exceptional year, it was also a year where aviation was restarted, and this was probably the first type of event that took place. And we've seen a big resurgence in aviation since then. Normally in October, we started planning the next year's events. We had a lot of planning sessions to put together events for the year, but as January, February came around, more and more events came onto the calendar for this year. And Ethel will know is one of the guys that tries to keep control of what weekends are available, and we've seen that there are a lot of conflict. But that also means that there's a lot of good events starting to come back onto the calendar. However, I think we've also seen the longer term effect of aviation in South Africa, that there is, even though there was a lot of researchers last year and maybe earlier this year, that it's starting to wane a bit. The fuel prices have not helped, so people are not, I'd say, eager to get into the airplanes as often as they should, which is unfortunate, but I think for this year we've had, half of what we had last year. It is still an excellent event to come to. I think also on the Aero Club side, we continue to work as best possible with the regulator, given their constraints and given our constraints in supporting, trying to keep the regulations under control, making sure that we're not over-regulated, that we develop our sport, our general aviation fraternity. So I think that we are, I'll say, I think we are well respected within the CAA community to make sure that we do things together with them and not against them where we can. So on the back wall that you see here, that we continue to show our centenary, our heritage of general aviation and recreational aviation in South Africa. I'd like to thank you for continuing to support this wall of fame, basically, of our sport for the last 100 years. It is now 102 years. So we've had Airweek here for 4 years running now, since 2018. We missed 2020, of course, and we like it here, and I think we'll continue to have discussions with Middleburg Aero Club to see how we plan this kind of event going forward. And thanks to a number of people and entities that made things happen. First of all, to Vector. Okay, they were a good sponsor, so we'll provide them their gift later. Then Sport Plane Builders. Pierre has also been a stalwart of supporting recreational aviation, and we thank you for your sponsorship for this event. Okay, then also very big thanks to the Middleburg Aero Club, which is Jock now. So Jock is always available on the phone to sort out any problem. So thank you, Jock, for supporting us. And it's a very smooth organisation this year. I think we had 2 Zoom meetings, and we basically got everything organised in that. All the paperwork is sorted, so I think it was very good. Thank you, Jock, for supporting that. If we could call up Nigel Musgrave. Nigel, as our esteemed safety officer. As Carla said, Nigel is always there, and he's got his paperwork in order before we even start the rest of the planning. So thank you, Nigel, for making sure that always happens. Then also thank you to the photographers who always support us at these events. Ethel, Billy is here. Where's Garth? Is Garth here? Also Bruce.
Bruce Perkins.
Where's Bruce? Yes, Bruce. Thank you, Bruce, for always supporting us.
And Paul Ludick.
And Paul Ludick is a new, returning photographer. Okay, then also thanks to David LaRue for helping judge the awards that we will hand out just now. And I'd just like to call up Richard and Irene Lovett. And a very special thanks to Richard and Irene for always supporting our events and for the use of your facilities. And everything that you helped to prepare this airfield. I know that you had challenges with the drainage system and the overflow of the rain and so on. So you sorted it out, I think, one day before the event. Also, we had some difficulties with liquor license. So Richard and Irene stepped up to help with that situation in providing the alcohol, and then we luckily on Friday morning, Friday about 12 o'clock, Jock announced that we had the liquor license sorted out. So But thank you for the support in making at least the weekend happen. And for that, some wine for you. And what we've also arranged between the Aero Club and the Balloon Federation is we would like to invite you for a balloon flight.
Thank you.
That will happen. So that will happen here at Middleburg. So the Bafsa team and the Aero Club team, Richard, the chairman, we've agreed that we will pick a suitable date and we'll come and have a nice morning balloon flight here in Middleburg.
Wow.
For you.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Okay, if you can just get on to the awards. So these are just some fun awards. So we haven't been able to do the fun awards for all the disciplines. So just for the disciplines that we're here. So the first one is the most enthusiastic team this year. The enthusiastic team award this year goes to the Battleers.
Do I get a notebook from you?
Okay, next is what we call Bob the Golden Award, and that goes to Richard Lover for Zulu Uniform, India, Tango Foxtrot.
Lovely smile. It's beautiful. Another one.
Okay, the next is the Fairy Award. So the Fairy Award being for a light sport aircraft. Lance Howard with the Cheetah. Now when David was coming around with doing the judging, they were expecting a lot of things and he was worried that he was being fined. We have the Old and the Beautiful, which is the best vintage Zulu Uniform Echo Charlie Papa. Where's Patrick? Okay, Patrick Watson. Okay, then our best warbird is Steve George. Are you here?
Okay. Fantastic. Hold it.
So the official name on that certificate is the Pampered Proudest Bum Award. Okay. So I'm sure you pampered it and work very well. Okay, then the last award is the Piping Hot Award. So that's for the hottest air balloon, and that goes to Mario Brario for Zulu Sierra Hotel Hospitality.
Got it? Thank you.
Okay, so Mario is also a very dedicated balloonist. He drove all the way from Mossel Bay to arrive here this morning. So that's very nice. I don't know how long it took you with the trailer, but it must have taken you quite a many hours. 2 days. Okay. Right, thank you very much. That's the Aero Club Awards. So we now go on to the next section.
Hello everyone, welcome once again to this superb facility here. I think it's almost, we're just probably one step away from heaven, I think, for most of us aviators. I just would like to, from the EAA side, for those that don't know, I'm Paul Astrucci, I'm the president of the EAA. It's certainly a privilege to be standing here this evening to take me through the process of the judging that we did here this evening, during the course of the day. And then thanks obviously to Rob and the Aero Club guys that allowed us to to take part in the Airweek as our convention for the second time, and we are very grateful for that. I just also from the EAA side like to thank Neil Bowden. Neil's a superman when it comes to these type of things. He's certainly he's by the way, is an old EAA member. He's been around since the Dead Sea was sick, and he's also one of the, as you know, he's the stalwart of the Oshkosh trips to America, to our parent organisation, if you call it that. And thanks, Neil. You are an absolute star. I really appreciate all your assistance, and of course the entire Bowden family that comes along and assists Neil to put these things together. And it would be non-fitting to also thank Carl Jensen, who's our definite spokesperson for the EAA. Carl's a good man. He was told today that probably all of us, we probably could not be scuba divers, because none of us would be able to talk underwater. So yeah, thanks Carl. Yes, a goeie man. Thank you so much. Right, I'm going to start with the awards. We've got 9 awards for the EAA this evening that we've put together. For those of you guys that were here last year at all the other conventions, what we do is we look at the tube and fabric aircraft that is presented to us. We look at the best metal aircraft. There's the best vintage aircraft, obviously the best kit-built aircraft. There's the best warbird. So there's a bit of deja vu, I think, okay, with the Aero Club. Then obviously there's a concourse de elegance. And then the last one is the big one. Okay, that's the EAA Grand Champion, which we will reveal here this evening. And before that, we'll also look at the EAA member that also travelled the longest distance. Okay. But before I jump into this, I also have to make big thanks. And I'll tell you what, we were very fortunate this year to have Pierre van der Walt and his team. Thanks, Pierre, from the Sports Plane Builders. Now, these guys are very, very versed in aviation, maintenance and building and best practices and all that type of stuff. So we had these guys with us this year to take us through the judging, which was very, very successful. And I think we also brought a couple of young oaks in there as well, which is also very nice. So I'm very happy to have had you guys here this year to do this judging, because as you all know, there's only a few of us here that have got greying hair, and we need to make sure that the battle is gone forward, particularly in the technical side of things, because that's where we create quite a lot of interest in it. So I'm going to start with the first award, which is the longest distance travel, and Sandra's going to bring it up for me here now tonight, and it goes to Peter Howe. How's Peter? Okay, Peter Howe's he came all the way from the Philippe Dam. Although he saddled up his 4x4, Peter, please come up to the podium here to collect your certificate. Peter Howe. Peter's also been a member of the EAA since a long time.
Well done.
Thanks, Peter. Right, we move on to the next one. Okay, for the tube and fabric, for those of you guys that are not familiar with tube and fabric directly translated is lump and parlor. Okay. If you have the aircraft that you can think, okay. Seeing that we're in Middleburg, an Italian boy like me must practice my after class. Okay. So we ferreted out the best tube and fabric aeroplane here today, and that through the judging team that goes to Herbert de Graaf. It's a little Piper craft. This aeroplane also used to belong to Horace Block. For those of you guys who know Horace, he's also a very keen aviator, Air Force guy. He was also on that Shackleton that ran in the desert. Herbert.
Okay. Got it.
Thank you, Herbert. This one is a nice one. It's a beautiful one. Okay. It's probably one of my favorite aircraft for many years. Okay. This is the best metal aircraft. Okay. It was standing just behind you now. It goes to Jean-André Kasselman. It's a detailed bonanza.
Got it.
Thanks, Mom. Thanks, brother. Right, this is also good one. We looked at the best vintage aeroplane on the field today. Okay, the best prepared one. It was very nice. This aircraft's also been around for a long time, so is the pilot. Okay. And this one goes to Captain Carl Jensen.
But you guys, thank you so much for this accolade. Really lovely, and I just love the people around here. Love being able in this twilight of my life to be able to do things like this. Have so much fun.
Yeah, it's good to see these guys flying with aeroplanes, I tell you what. Okay, now we move on to the best kit-built aeroplane. Okay. This is also a very pretty little aeroplane. It's also quite new on the block. Okay. And I don't know if when I mention it now, you'll see it, you'll remember it. It goes to Ryan Beckley for Ollie. So that's Ollie 4.
Got it.
Well done, Ryan. Lovely aeroplane. Right, now we move on to the best warbird. Oh my word. The best warbird is a very good friend from my family. It goes to Steve George again. So the EAA found your aeroplane to be the best warbird. Please, Steve, come up and receive your second award. Steve had this aeroplane for about. He didn't have the same color hair, so I'm not sure if you know if you can calculate how long he's had it. And he's kept it pristine for all these years. Well done, Steve. Smile. Okay, now we move on to the last two ones, okay, which are quite sort of the epitome, okay, we're going to here. This is the Concourse d'Elegance, okay. This Concourse d'Elegance award is given out to the EAA member that brings an aeroplane that is perfect. I think it's quite perfect, okay. And then there's a grand champion which is perfect, okay. This aircraft has been flown for many years, okay, and it's just recently been brought back through the enthusiasm, through the dedication, through the planning, through the lots of late nights, and you saw it there today. It was absolutely beautiful, and this goes to Rainer Alberts for his Navy. Thank you, thanks Rainer, well done, my friend. Okay, the last award now on the aircraft side was not very difficult to do. It was probably one of the nicest stories I've heard for a long time in terms of EAA type environment of how it gets done. Okay. It was one of the most beautifully prepared aircraft. It was we were standing in awe there. We discussed it when we had our meeting afterwards, just prior to deciding on the awards. That it was an absolute no-brainer that the EAA Grand Champion this year goes to Richard and Irene Lovett. So it's absolutely wonderful. So some of you guys that don't know this. Well done. I'm going to tell a small story, so don't go away. Well done, Richard. Thank you. Thank you very much. Well done, Irene. I just want to add a little bit before Axel shoots the photos here, is that the presentation of this aircraft is absolutely wonderful. And if you think the story that goes is that obviously this is a family affair. This typically like the EAA, we always promote that type of environment. And Richard and Irene actually built this aircraft together. Okay. And if you think about it, they went to the USA, they actually did some training there, there's some pictures, and it's all documented in a file. Not only, I mean, most builders of aircraft put a file together that documents their progress, okay? And that's pretty much used for me, for their own identification, but obviously for the Civil Aviation Authority when they do the milestone checks, when the APs check it. But this one, you must see the pictures, there's the little grandchildren are actually filing stuff. Which is, I mean, you know, it's fantastic. It's just, I'm sort of over this year. But I think that you guys know, this is the epitome of the EAA type environment, and I think that if you saw the aircraft out here, ITF, it's an RB14, it's just, I think if it's brand new, if I could do it that way. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. You guys did it absolutely strong. Great stuff. Right, so the last award after this, which is the, thanks to Rob Jonkers, with all his expertise in radar flying, we've got an EAA radar that we put together here, and we're going to announce the winners of it, which was, of this one was Leo Patel and Steve van der Merwe. Is Leo here this evening?
Okay, that basically brings us to the end of the presentations. There's one more activity that we want to do, and that's the draw of the hamper that Sandra and Shanae have been punting all weekend. Okay, so hopefully the number that she pulls is here. 021 21. Okay, it's always nice to pull a raffle when the person is here, so it's really nice. Okay, so that was a nice whiskey and brandy hamper.
Okay, right. Hooray for Ethel, hooray at last, hooray for Ethel. Traffic control here at Middleburg. We had a lovely day, 183 movements to keep us busy, and my colleague handled it well.
Thanks a lot, guys. Thanks for the opportunity for being here. It was a lovely time, and yeah, the enthusiasm of the pilots was awesome. It was a great event. Thanks.